Hi everybody, just come to share another design team project with you. This one was is for that craft place, and the theme for this one was use a charm. Sorry, I'm just found a glue strand there. And I decided for this one I wasn't going to make a card or anything else, because I've been doing lots of cards and stuff just purely because it was Christmas time. I had birthdays that I needed to do, and it's like killing two birds with one stone. And this one I wanted to get back to doing something messy. So all this is, it's a plaque of wood from my dad's workshop that he had lying about, so I took a hold of it, and you can see the edges here. I just took his electric sander and sort of sanded areas out of it and just rounded and softened the corners and things on it. And what I did was I sprayed it all. No, I didn't. To start with, what I did was I took one of Lisa's gorgeous stencils that was sent in my design team package, and I'll just show you this quickly. But I'm being really bad because I haven't cleaned them yet. But this one, and I think this is like a Kingfisher one. This is the one here that I used. Yeah, that way around I think it is. Yeah. And I didn't actually use it as a bird. What I did is I placed it in different areas on the wood, and I just used the walnut stain distress ink, and as you can see it's still on the stencil. It came through in different areas then on the wood. Then on top of that, what I did was I took another of the stencils, and not cleaned this one either. As you can see, I've put it on here, and I used my Inca Gold to go through it, and I love that stuff. I just love it. So I used that to have the face coming through in the front here. Then I took my Glimmer Mist, and it was one of the Cosmic Shimmers, and it was in a copper colour that I had, I think. Yep, the Ancient Copper. Just, yeah, it's that. I'm upside down and back to front here today. Yeah, the Ancient Copper, and again this is available in Lisa's store, that craft place. So I had that on there, and it just gives it a nice shimmer along with the Inca Gold. And then this is a wooden word that I had in my stash that I actually won from Maggie, so thank you for that, Maggie. I've used it in this project. And again, I inked this one up with some walnut stain, and I gave it a spritz with some of my Cosmic Shimmers as well, and it was the Ancient Copper. I also used the Raspberry, I keep holding these upside down, the Raspberry one there, just to give it a bit of other colour, and then when it was all spritzed it just merged really nicely together. I used some of the gorgeous crocheted lace that again is available in Lisa's store, and it came in my design team package, so I've got that down the bottom here, you can see there. And in the background of my flower cluster I also got in my design team package some of this. It's like burlap, but it's really wide. That one there. The spacings in it are really wide, so I've tucked that in behind the cluster here. Then let me see, I inked a gold as well, actually all around the plaque, around the edges. So you can see that there in some of the bits, and it just finished it off there. To use a charm, I got the key from Lisa, and I also got this, I don't know if you can see it here actually, there's this round charm here which I put a flower in the centre of, so that's my charms on here. From my stash I also added this lovely butterfly with the wings, and there's like a corner filigree in here as well behind the flowers. On the key I added a flower from my stash here, and another one on the end here. I ran some of this bling in a roll that was sent from Jane, so thank you Jane, I've used that on here because the colours toned in nicely with this project. These are white flowers that I glimmer misted as well using the Ancient Copper. It is ancient, isn't it? Yeah, Ancient Copper glimmer mist. I used that there. In fact, all the flowers got misted with that. And again, the rest of the flowers are all ones from my stash. Some of these lovely leaves that are in here, I just love the colours in this one. And I've got a skeleton leaf tucked in here as well. I added a little bead from my stash here. I'm trying to think what else I have done. there on the Inspire I've got 2 flat bar pearls, and the butterfly, just to make it look like a trail coming from the butterfly, what I've used is a broken pearl necklace that was a charity shop find I had, so I added that onto there. In this butterfly as well, on the body, there is an area here, I don't know if it's going to pick this up, but I added some stickles into there as well, just for a bit of bling. And up in this top corner again, there's some more flower from my stash. I added in this little book which I made, and it's a leather bound book, and I hope you can see this here. Now this is not my idea. I got this from watching one of Fiona Jennings' videos, and this was quite a while back, and I thought it was fab. And what happened was I went to a local store we have here that sell lots of materials, and I'm going to see if I can find it now. I should have had this beforehand, but I was delighted to discover, and I think I've shown this in a whole video, they were selling bags of offcuts of leather, and I thought this would be really, really, really handy for making books and adding to projects, and I've used these a couple of times, and I've had a few folk asking me how to make these. I know that Fiona, a lot of her videos are gone at the moment, so I will quickly show you how I make these because they're not difficult. And I'll just move this project out of the way because I don't want to get it in a mess. I've actually cleared my crafting so I can move in here now. All you need is, I just use some scrap paper, or you can use printer paper. It's just thin paper, that's all you need to do. And you decide what size you want to make your book. I'm just going to be folding some paper here. That size. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be exact at all. You just need to cut it to size. I'll do this really quickly. It doesn't have to be exact because just ruffle it up a bit. And this is going to create the pages for your book. Just cut these as well. I've just folded them down just to create, this is signature we call them in books, I think. Don't quote me on all this, it's just a really quick tutorial on how I make these. And these are just going to be stapled together in the middle. You can make as many pages as you want, or as little as you want, it's up to yourself completely. And I'm going to fold that in half, like that. So this is actually creating your little book, as you can see here now, and that's the pages. To hold it together, all I normally use is my stapler. This is like a really, really quick tutorial here I'm showing you. I'm just quickly going to heat up my glue gun. Really organised here today, note. Hold this together as best you can, and I have the staple facing that way. Staple through them, and this is like the outside of the book. Fold that over, and there's your inside of your staple. What I tend to do is I don't have that page showing, so I would use a little dot of glue just to close that one up. And it's just some tacky glue, whatever PVA glue you've got, and I just glue that over so it covers that one page. And then, just to antique it up a bit, if you want to, you don't have to, I then just take some of either walnut stain or vintage photo, whichever. I've got some walnut stain here, so I'll use that. And all I do is close the book up kind of thing and ink up the edges of your pages. And it is just very, very rough. See, that's okay. Okay. Then you take your bit of leather, or you could use paper, it doesn't have to be leather, but I just like the leather look. And then you want to cut this to size, so I just make the book slightly bigger like that. And the Tim Holtz scissors are really good for cutting through this leather. She says, and watch this, it will not want to cut now. Hold on a second, let's just cut these out. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, and I'm just feeling the book underneath for the size of it. Like that. So you might want to trim it down just ever so slightly. And it, as you can see, it doesn't have to be an exact fit. It's just very roughly, because I don't tend to measure a lot. A lot of it is just eyeballed and cut, because when it's in a project you're going to manipulate it anyway to sit wherever you want it. Okay, cover that over. And then I wonder if my glue gun will be heated enough to do this. On the outside cover, you just want a little bit of glue, and you fold over your leather, give it a good squeeze down, and do the same on this side. I just always do it with hot glue because it's quicker, and it's not quite fully heated yet, so I'm getting loads of glue strands, never mind. And there is your little book. And once I go to use these on a project, I then sort of decide what page I want to have hanging open, if I want to hang open, or sometimes I stack them on a project. What I do then is, if I want it to look like it has text in it, I just take a pencil and I just sort of make it look like this. And it's not even proper words, it's just kind of dashes and such like that. Same on this side. You can draw in little boxes if you want, with pictures, as if it's an instruction book. As you can see, it's very, very rough. And then what I do is, once I've decided on that, I just, again, depending on the style of project you're doing, whether you want the distressed look or whatever you want for it, I just add that in there like this. And it just sort of colours the pages so they're not quite so glaringly white. And then just turn them up sometimes, bend your page around a pencil or a paintbrush, whatever you've got handy, curl, and again you just distress up to suit, and there you have a little book that you can use in a project and make any size you want. And it's just from scraps of leather, and obviously I use the whole sheet of paper, but you can just use your scraps of paper that are lying around, and that is how I did it. So I hope you like that, and I hope for those that asked how I did it, that was quite simple and straightforward and you get the gist of it. So again, this is my project for that craft place, and I hope you like it. I had lots of fun making this, and it was nice getting messy after Christmas and New Year, and I will be back again soon with some more projects. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!